Hello everyone, this is Molly from the CMSNet Help Desk. I am going to be doing a webinar for liaisons. This webinar is going to show liaisons how to add new users, how to deactivate users, how to reset users' password, as well as how to add providers, NPIs to the PEDI domain. Okay? So let's get started. For liaisons, if you are a liaison, when you log in, you will see the administration link right here. You're going to click on the administration link, and actually before I move on, I want to point out that we have manuals available for you. Liaison guide right here. So if you, in the future, if you don't want to watch the webinar, just go ahead and reference to the liaison guide as the step-by-step on how to add new users, deactivate users, add providers, NPI, etc. Okay? And so let's go ahead and get started. Click on the administration link. Will take you to the domain management page, and it will default you to the domain tab. There's different tabs here, okay? So there's the domain tab. This is your domain information and the liaison information. If you have a trading partners for ESAR, it will be displayed here. User account is a tab that I will be going over today, and provider tab. So first of all, for users, anything related to adding users, deactivating users, it will be in the user account tab. So click on user account tab. Will take you to the user, the list of users. So if you need to deactivate users, very simple. You're just going to go ahead and select the status, deactivate, and so let me actually put it back here. So let's reset. Okay. So let me scroll down a little bit further so you see the whole thing. So if you need to deactivate a staff, as you can see here, there's no reasons or anything like that. It's active. So you click on delete, the deactivation reason will display, and you will select a reason to deactivate the user. Temporary deactivated, maybe they're on medical leave, or no longer in the domain, which stands for they are leaving, they're not coming back. Okay, account violation sharing, if they're sharing accounts, you can deactivate their account for sharing. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose no longer in domain for this one, and that's all you got to do. Change the status to deactivate, pick the deactivation reason, click save. Voila, that user is deactivated. Okay. Now to add users, what you're going to do is you would scroll down to the bottom of the screen and you would click Add User. Click on the Add User button, will clear the user information section. It defaults the status to pending, that's the only default. User is, it defaults to user, and you would type in the new user's name. Okay. And of course, you can put the office location if necessary. If the person works in a different office than you, you can put that in, their office location, or you can feel free to always put their every staff's work address, okay? And then here you would put the email address. And every email is unique, so there is no sharing emails, so you must make sure it's a new email. And if that staff, if you do ESAR, if you're going to give that staff an ESAR role, go ahead and give it right away. If not, then don't check the may request ESAR. And this may request ESAR is only available if your domain is approved to do ESAR. So if you need to apply, then reference to the liaison guide and apply for the ESAR trading partner. Okay. This one is just, this webinar is to teach you how to basically add a new user. So basically the add user button will give you the user information section for you to complete out. You would put in the client's last name, first name, phone number, email, office location if you is optional, okay, and the may request ESAR is also optional. Click on save. The new user would populate on top of the list with a pending status. So let's repeat the step again to add another user. Click Add User and complete the information again. Okay, and I'm going to put in office location, Sacramento. Yeah, that's a good. Okay, and then the phone number. Okay, and extension if there's any, and then whoops, user's email address. Okay, and then voila, click save, and that is how to add a new user. All right. So let's say a user does not know his or her own password. You can also reset the user's password. You would select the user that you need to reset the password for. So once you select the user, it populates in the user information section. We have here these following buttons available. To reset a user's password, you just simply have to click Reset Password. The moment you click on Reset Password, the temporary password is generated, and this is the temporary password you give to the user. Alright? Okay, so that is how to deactivate a user, how to add a user, how to reset a user's password. Now if you want to add a provider to your domain, let's say a new provider came to your office and you need to add that provider, you can go ahead and it's either or, don't do both. You can type in the provider's name and do search. It will try to find the provider if the provider is registered with Medi-Cal. Okay, and then same thing with the provider ID number. If the provider exists with the PMF, Provider Master File, over at Medi-Cal, then it will pull it over. Alright, so in my example, I'm just going to go ahead and type in, I'm going to add Dr. Smith. Okay, so you can do Dr. Smith, or like I said, you can enter in the NPI number. If you know the doctor's NPI, there you go. Or you can do Smith. And let's see, do I know any other provider? Let's do that. Oops, nope. And like I said, you can't put in both, so I forgot to clear this one out, so I'm going to clear it. Enter. And if it's not a one-to-one match, then it will find that provider, and it will, and then you can select it. Okay. So that's basically how to add a provider. So and let me go ahead and explain before we leave. The status here, this is my provider for when I first established the domain, and it's already active. So my new providers, after adding the provider, will be displayed on top of the active one, and it will keep adding on top with the status pending, and of course you cannot activate your own. The moment you submit, the help desk will be notified, and we will review it and we will approve it. Once it gets approved, it will become active. Okay? Same thing with both users. If you have more than one providers to add, you can simply click on both provider. Now keep in mind, this functionality right here will only work correctly. Whoops, sorry. Well, darn it. Let's re-add. Okay, so it will only add correctly if you do not have any other domain open. So I'm going to go ahead and add a special care center this time. It's shorter number. And let's go ahead and re-add Dr. Smith, Andrews, Andres. Okay. Alright, so it's going to be in pending, so you can click on save, and as you can see, it would, I forgot to click on save last time. Alright, so it will populate the providers down here, and it'll keep the status as pending. If you want to do bulk NPI, you can. You would just basically be typing in the NPI number here. Okay, and then you would put in the special care center number, exactly how it would look. So that's an example of an NPI, an example of, and then I can also add another NPI here as well. Alright, and then when you're done, you would click save, and it will tell you that basically that these two have been added to the domain, and this one doesn't exist because the NPI doesn't exist with Medi-Cal, or you probably mistype or something like that, so you can re-verify your information. Now, if you have any other internet session open before this, the pop-up may not work correctly, so make sure that if you're adding NPIs, you only have the Internet Explorer open and PEDI open to do what you need to do. Okay? Don't have too many sessions open. Alright, so let's go ahead and close that down. And as you can see here, now it populates with the other ones that I added in the bold, and it appears here as all pending. Okay? And the help desk, once they approve it, will these statuses will turn active. Same thing with the users. Once they approve it, the users will become active. Okay? Alright, so that is how to add users, deactivate users, reset password, add providers to your domain. And once again, these are for liaisons. Okay? Alright.